Furry content is a massive core to the furry community. And given that there's so many talented furries out there in so many different areas of creativity, there's no wonder there's a lot of furry stuff out there. But do we have a definition on what furry content actually is? I thought I would have a little talk about it, ramble on a little bit, and maybe shed a little bit of light. Or perhaps I'll confuse everyone. Let's find out. But before we get into the video, I just wanted to say a big, massive thank you to everybody who checked out my last video. It quickly became my most viewed video, and I got so much love and support in the comment section from people talking about their communities, like their experience with the community, or perhaps agreeing or adding points on to what I said. And honestly, it meant a lot to me, and I'm still kind of taking everything in. And I just wanted to say how amazing you guys made me feel, and just everyone in their own way just made me feel so proud to be part of this community. So I just wanted to say thank you. But anyway, enough of all the sappy stuff. Back to the video. So to get a kind of idea on what furry content is, I went onto 3 different platforms and searched furry just to see what pops up. And I got so many different answers. So when I started off with Steam, I searched furry and a whole load of furry porn games started popping up. I had to wipe my computer clean after that. And because there's a lot of dating sims, there's a lot of puzzles, and just a whole load of loot games going on in Steam. And at first I was kind of like, that's a little bit weird that it's mainly just porn games. But then I was also like, it also makes sense because there is a large kind of lewd community within the furry fandom. You go to any American furcon at nighttime and you will hear things, apparently, from what I've heard. But I also think, when I was thinking about this, I also wanted to remind people that there is a massive asexual community. I'm demisexual myself, so I'm on the ace spectrum. I know a lot of demi-romantics, aromantics, asexuals, and I think sometimes it can get forgotten, given that it's a very flirty and very lewd community sometimes. But just remember, if you are demisexual and asexual, then it's okay. You don't. There is still a group of people who you can connect with. You don't need to be lewd to be furry. I just thought I'd put that out there. So I went over to Twitter because I thought a lot of furries use Twitter, and when I searched furry, I saw a lot of art. There was tons and tons of art, which was really nice because if anybody knows me, I love seeing art. I love seeing every kind of art. Within reason. But I love seeing people's art. I love people's expression, and that's one thing that really connects me to the furry community, because I love seeing people's art, despite the fact that I'm not much of an artist myself. But I'd also see stuff people talking about Twitter. I saw a bit of Twitter drama, which is something that I might pop onto another video about. But I also saw people's Twitch, and every so often I would see a furry, and I was just a bit oh. But other than that, it was very in the minority. There was a lot of furry art that I thought was really interesting. I added quite a few people from it. When I went over to YouTube, there was a mixed bag. When I searched, I saw there was a lot of anti-furry memes, and there's a lot of videos kind of really kind of dunking on the furry community for being weird, being very hug and all that stuff. And it wasn't almost I think some of them I was kind of okay, they're talking about the furry community. It is weird. We know we're weird. We know. But I think some of it was almost cruel banter more than anything. But I guess that comes with a community that is pretty weird. But once I got past those ones, I noticed there's a lot of fursuit videos, Which, as somebody who really wants a fursuit, I love it. I love seeing it. Maybe not quite as good for people who really don't care about getting a fursuit. But again, it's the joy of being a furry. There's so many different interests out there. Whereas I also saw like a lot of positive furry memes, like a lot of relatable furry meme compilations, which was nice. And what was the other one? I saw, you know, I don't know if it's like so many different channels or if I just so happened to get a whole load of one person's channel, but I saw a lot of Omegle furry videos, and I was like, I've not seen them, so I don't know what's in them, but I was like, that's quite a lot. But nonetheless, like I said, there was a bit of a mixed bag. But all in all, YouTube had very much like a variety of furry videos, and it was, like I said, a lot of it was kind of mixed bag depending on what you clicked on. So if you combine all of these platforms into one kind of furry content, you would get lewd fursuit meme art. But the more I looked into this, the more I realised that none of that actually matters. Because the furry community it has this kind of uniqueness to it that not a lot of other communities have, in a way that there's self-insert into their community. So keep with me with this one, because there's a massive comment activity within furries where people create their personas. Some people create worlds, some people create NPCs in that world, some people create lore, and there's like so much self-expressions, there's so much like self-insert into the community. So with a lot of things that are suggested to be furry, it's really subjective, which is probably not the answer people wanted to hear in this video. But like, since everything's so personal, like I know some furries will say, oh, like Spyro the Dragon is furry because you got a talking dragon, or you've got like Animal Crossing, you've got all these like kind of animal-like characters, that just Animal Crossing ticks all the boxes for furry game. But I know some people will disagree with me with that one. And I know lots of people have different interpretations of what furry is. And I also think that's a good thing. Because, like I said in the last video, since everyone's got different interpretations of some stuff, it means that we'll all clump together as furries. But we've also got our little sections of place that we feel comfortable. Some people, like saying before, really want a fursuit. Some people really want to go to fur cons, whereas some people have no interest in that. And some people prefer perhaps doing like the online role playing or like VR chat or just hanging out with friends, that kind of stuff, and that is also okay. And I think just because if somebody disagrees with you on, oh, that's not furry or that's not furry enough, I think that is okay to disagree, and it doesn't diminish that link you have with the community, or like it doesn't sever your link to furriness, because end of the day that means something to you, and that means that like you get something out of it. Like for example, for Beastars, I know a lot of people who aren't furry in my general life will flat out refuse to believe that is a furry like anime, which is hard to believe, but but end of the day, to me, it's furry. It's what like joined me. It's what influenced me to become a furry, and it's the reason why I am a grey wolf today. But like, it doesn't diminish my link with it. It still means something to me, and for me, that's enough. So to summarize everything, if you think something is furry, then that's exactly what it is. If your friends or somebody who's in the community says something's not furry, that's okay too, but that doesn't mean that it's not furry to you. And that means that you can express yourself, and like I said, it's one of the draws to the furry community. I know a lot of us are fairly socially awkward, me included. Get me in a room or talking to somebody in voice chat and I squirm. And despite the fact that I've been doing Twitch streaming and for like 3 years, and I do YouTube, I am one of the most socially awkward beings out there, so I get really nervous. But I think, like I said, that's the draw to the furry community. There's a lot of freedoms with it because it's very interpretational, and you still get this like community vibe because everybody regards themselves as a furry, and I think that is great. So that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for getting this far in. I really do appreciate it. I know that this is a little bit messy still. This is very unscripted, and I'm trying to speak from the heart with a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about. And I know this is a little bit shorter than the last one, but I really do appreciate it. And thank you so much everybody who went and checked out my last video. Again, it blew my mind and it really made my week. It made a really difficult week absolutely amazing, and I cannot thank you guys enough. But if there is a topic that you guys would like me to talk about, feel free to pop it in the comment section. I would love to ramble on about anything furry. I am obsessed with furries. I love learning more stuff, so please pop it down in the comment section. But if you take anything from this video, remember that you mattered yesterday, you matter today, and you matter tomorrow. And I love every single one of you. Mwah!